Welcome to this week's 5 minutes of revelation, and today in those 5 minutes I want to tell you that you don't need to live in fear. So because fear is a big part of many people's lives, and people think, well, it's not possible to just completely live without fear. But that's not the truth. That's a lie of the devil. Because you and I, we were not designed to live in fear. Fear torments us. Fear is not a nice thing. Fear tears us down. Fear wears us out. Fear is not from God, and it's not meant to be in your life. Because God gave us a spirit not of fear, but of power and love and self-control. That's what it says in 2 Timothy 1 verse 7. I'm going to read it again to you because it's such a great verse. For God gave us a spirit not of fear, but of power and love and self-control. See, the Spirit of God, the Spirit God gave you the moment you chose Him to come into your life, that Spirit is not of fear. That means that Spirit doesn't have any fear in it, but instead it has power, and it has love, and it has self-control. See, because this power means that in His Spirit you have the ability to overcome anything that's coming against you and to overcome anything that is standing in your way. So why be afraid when you have that ability on the inside of you? And no fear is too big for you. You never have to quit because you were too afraid. You will never again have to quit because you were too afraid, because the power of God is in you. Not the spirit of fear, but the spirit of power. And then He says that His Spirit is the spirit of self-control. That means that you have the choice between being afraid and not being afraid. You have control over yourself. In God's Spirit, you don't just have to yield to anything that's coming along. No, in God, you now have the ability to choose for yourself and to control yourself. That means that it's your choice whether you live in this fear or you don't live in this fear. It is simply all up to you. God doesn't control it. You control it. It is your choice because He gave you the spirit of self-control. And that means that if there's still fear in your life, right now you can say, I choose to not live in this fear any longer. And the next time this fear shows up, you can say, no, I chose to not live in this fear. Be gone out of my life. I don't accept you into my life. I don't live in this fear anymore because I'm not of the spirit of fear. I'm of the spirit of power and of self-control. And you're also of the spirit of love. And this love is simply the greatest quality of God because God Himself is love. So with His Spirit, this love comes into your life, and with this love comes all His willingness to bless you and all His willingness to do you good and to only do you good. And now I want you to see that you have fear on this one side, and then you have this power, you have this love, and you have this self-control on the other side. And what fear tries to do is to get you away from all of this. What fear tries to do is to shut God out of your life, to rob you of His power, to rob you of His self-control, and to finally rob you of His love. And I want to encourage you today to not allow fear to do that any longer. See, because you don't have to live in fear. Right here and right now, you can choose to get out of it, you can choose to start over, and you can choose to live a life full of love, full of power, and full of self-control. So take this with you, be blessed by that. Don't forget to read your chapter a day, and I will see you again next week.